Hi, and welcome back to the show. Well, we've had an industrial revolution, we've had a technology revolution, and as we all know, we're going through an employment revolution at the moment. Things are changing dramatically. So I'm going to get a well-renowned expert in the studio to talk about how do we get the job, and not just the job, but how do we get the better job. Peter's going to be joining us very shortly from Polenta, so don't go anywhere. Hi, and welcome back to the show. And Peter, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Polenta, great name, and your logo. I love the logo. We're talking about that off screen with the horses. Before we get into the business, though, Polenta, I know people are going to go, "What does that mean? What does the name mean?"
Yeah, it's actually a Latin word. It means coach in the carriage type sense.
That's
or a chariot.
So that's why the two horses are pulling the chariot.
Exactly.
So you've got multiple meanings to the name.
Yeah. So a chariot is a vehicle that takes you somewhere, and what I try and do as a coach or as a career advisor is to help people to take their career to the next level.
Because I guess, and I was saying, it's more like an employment revolution these days, isn't it? I mean, you call it disruption going on in the marketplace.
Yeah. It's a really challenging time, to be perfectly frank. I don't think a lot of people are really aware of what's happening. It's when you're in the middle of something, sometimes it's really hard to see it. All of a sudden, one day you've got a job and all of a sudden you're looking for a job. But the problem now is that people are looking for jobs and they're looking for job after job after job. And look, I know hiring managers out there, and I often talk to them and they'll tell me, they'll say, "Pete, we're advertising for a mid-range role as an operator or whatever, and we had 3,000 applicants."
3,000?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about the person who's going to work in the factory. We're not talking about, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, but that was the McDonald's type."
No.
But no, this is high-end stuff as well.
It's right across the board, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's probably easier getting a job at McDonald's these days than your engineering job.
Well, actually, there's some people working there. Uber.
Well, didn't Uber change the world? People went and you were saying this to me before, that people can't get jobs, so they're going, "I'll have to create my own or work for myself." But so you spotted this, but how did you spot it? Because you had to step into this before it started to become well known.
Yeah. Well, I've worked in the recruitment sector for 17 years, mostly with technical and professional people. And one of the roles that I did was actually working for a payrolling company. They actually payroll contingent or casual type employees.
Oh yes.
And it's a growth area, and it's growing at an enormous pace. Now, if you go back about 45 years ago, 1978, something like that, the number of people working casually in the workforce was around 15%.
Okay.
Fast forward to today, and it's around 23-30%.
And it's growing.
And it's growing really fast. So actually over the next 6 odd years or so, we're going to lose about 4 million permanent jobs in Australia.
What's causing it, Peter? What did you see? Because I know when we talked, you were in this field and you went, "Oh my goodness, I can see this coming."
Yeah. Well, globalization and technology means that companies now can offshore, they can outsource, they can use equipment, they can use software, computers and things like that to do the job of many people. And also, when you're looking at professional and technical type people, they cost a lot of money. So a company, rather than getting someone in on a permanent basis, they'll get them in on a contingent basis when they need them. And so now there's lots more companies that are providing those type of people on a part-time basis or casual basis. So the nature of work is actually changing. The number of permanent jobs is declining, and also the nature of the type of jobs they're doing is changing.
So I know people come to you, and you've got lawyers, you've got engineers, you've got from across the spectrum of people coming to you. What are they coming for? What do they feel like they're missing when they come to you?
Well, initially, when people first lose their job, people are fairly competent. The people that I see are actually very good at what they do.
Well, we're talking about a gentleman the other day. You have more qualifications than
exactly.
You feel the whole pain. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what happens is they start applying for jobs and they just don't get any response or any reaction at all, and they start to lose confidence in what they're able to do. But the way that you approach work is changing. So, obviously it's pretty hard to compete when you've got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. How does a recruiter even, work out who to pick? They're not going to sit down there and go through 3,000 resumes.
No.
They'll pick out the first half a dozen or so that look okay, and then they'll start talking to those people. And if someone's suitable, if someone's not suitable, they might go a bit further. Yeah. But most of those people just don't get a show. And so, if you're putting an application in, your resume has got to be absolutely perfect. Your cover letter, your selection criteria, everything like that. But of course, even having a well-made resume isn't necessarily going to get you there.
It's like the business owner, and I'm sure they're all smiling, because you can have the best presenting business in the world, but it doesn't mean you're going to get customers, does it?
No.
So your skill set is going, okay, everything looks nice, you're smart, you've got your credentials, for the job you're going for, and you've got your nice stuff, but there's obviously some ingredients in there, if I can put it that way, that gets them to be at least noticed. So someone goes, oh, I can consider this person.
Well, the biggest thing I find with people looking for jobs is that they only use one or two strategies. And that's quite simply, they'll look on job boards or company job sites and they'll apply for jobs. That's a very passive way of looking for jobs. You've got to wait for jobs to come to you. I mean, it's hard to know what's available until it's actually on a job board. So what people will do is they'll look for what's available. Unfortunately, that's what everybody's doing. And really, to be able to find a job, you need to use many more other strategies. Actually, the best way of looking for a job is actually to find things that you love doing and enjoy doing. Because obviously, if you're doing things you enjoy and doing things that you love, you can do better at those things. It's more fun. I mean, why spend a long time at work, want to do something you enjoy? And then to actually do research and find companies who have got a culture, who have got the type of skill sets and things that align with yours.
It reminds me of it, and we've talked about this before, and there's a young kid, we've got a car yard down here, I won't name the dealer, big dealership, and the young kid just loves cars. Not a mechanic, and he just went in the car and said, I love cars, I love being around cars. He said, but I'm not a mechanic. He said, but if I came here, I'll start washing your cars and clean them so you can see my work ethic, and then hopefully, if you like me, you might give me some experience, you might groom me, and I might be able to start working here. Of course, the owner went, there's 3 cars to wash, there's 5 cars to wash. Came every day, diligently, loves his cars, talked about cars. He's now one of their top salespeople. And you ask him mechanical stuff, he doesn't have a clue. He goes, I'm not a mechanic. I'll leave that to mechanics, but you give me a car, I love them. And I think that resonates with what you're saying. Find out what you love, and then rather than wait, just become proactive. Now, I don't know how many yards he'd made that offer to until he came and goes, but this one's a leading car, and obviously he's a leading car dealer for a very certain reason. And he's kind of gone, I like that attitude, let's test it.
Yeah, so there's about 8 strategies that I use to help people to find work. And if they haven't done it before, it does take a bit of time to get set up. Just like anything, you've got to get prepared. The first thing you need is a plan. Without a plan, plans help you sort of keep target and keep focused. And you also need to know what other things to do. So there's 8 strategies that I use. Part of it, of course, you need to have your collateral or your communication strategy, which are things like your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter, also what you're going to say as well. You need skills in interview. What do you say? What are people going to say to you? But of course, you've got to find the job in the first place. And that's where I've got certain strategies that work really, really well.
That's exciting. I know there's a lot of people, and there's 2 sides to this coin. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Peter because I want to actually chat about the other side of the coin for all these employers out there like me and you who are going, I always resumes, what do I do with them? How do I know I'm talking to the right person? So we'll take a quick break and hope you can stay around for a little bit longer, Peter.
Thanks a lot.